Good morning, Psych students. Hope you had a great weekend. Here we are in the home stretch of e-learning, final few weeks of the school year, and hope you're all staying safe and healthy, enjoying life as best you can. Today, we're going to follow up what we did on Friday. On Friday, we did three big concepts: fundamental attribution error, which means when we're looking at explaining other people's behavior, we tend to hold them personally responsible, and you overestimate their personality and underestimate the situation. Self-serving bias, when for whatever reason, if we are, say, struggling or failing at something, we tend to blame the situation, and when we succeed, we tend to hold ourselves responsible. I did this, me. And cognitive dissonance, when we have two conflicting attitudes or beliefs, how do we resolve that? Okay, how do we resolve that dissonance? Because nobody wants to be a hypocrite, we all want to be consistent. So today we're going to continue, if you look at your notes, the rest of the attitude section, okay? And really what we're looking at here is methods of persuasion. How do we get people to do what we want? Or how do we convince them that we're right and they're wrong? Or, a lot of the examples I'm going to use today, how do we sell things to people? Advertisements use a lot of these. So we'll start off. So we're looking at number 2, central route processing. Okay. Central route processing, probably a good way. Let's imagine we're making an advertisement for a car, and I want to sell you the car. I'm going to tell, one thing I could do is I can tell you all kinds of facts and figures and stats about the car. Okay, how many miles per gallon it gets, how many safety awards it wins, how many cup holders it has. And those will all be examples of central route persuasion. Okay, and the idea is that we're going directly to the frontal lobe. We're appealing to logic. Okay, so facts, figures, statistics used to persuade people to change their beliefs or attitudes. Or if I was going to try to convince you to, for reason, if I was going to try to convince you to vote for my candidate for president, whether it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump, I would try to cite statistics that would back up my argument. Those sorts of things, and not just feelings, but if you elect my candidate, he'll get a law passed that will boost consumer spending by 3% or cut taxes by 10%, and all kinds of stats, facts, and figures to convince you the argument. So that's one method of persuasion. Central route persuasion, going right to the point, facts, figures, statistics. Peripheral route, kind of the opposite of that. We're talking about going around the periphery, we're going around. Okay, our peripheral vision is off to the side. So instead of appealing to facts and figures and statistics like you would in central route, you maybe appeal to unrelated topics. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If I want to sell you a car using central route, I would tell you all about the stats, that why my Toyota Prius is the best car in the world. Okay, if I wanted to use peripheral route, what I might do is show you a commercial with me driving around, and I wouldn't be driving down Lincoln Highway or I-80. I would be driving through the mountains and look like I was having a lot of fun, and it's a really windy road, and look how fast my car is. Those are all examples of peripheral route processing. Okay, so appealing to things besides facts. Okay, we'll get to like emotional appeal in a little bit. That's something a little different than peripheral route processing. But the idea, if I'm going to sell you a product or convince you the argument, say I wanted. Politicians often do this. They get their celebrity endorsements. So, if I'm Joe Biden and, I don't know, Lady Gaga endorses me, I'm going to bring Lady Gaga out on stage, and Lady Gaga will then say, I want Joe Biden to be the next president of the United States. And all the people who are the little monsters, Lady Gaga's fan group, say, wow, if Lady Gaga wants to vote for Joe Biden, then me too, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. It's like celebrities. Okay, Lady Gaga might not believe the same thing as you, but you end up agreeing with her because she's Lady Gaga. That would be an example of peripheral route. Celebrity endorsements, or like when I was a kid and Gatorade had advertisements featuring Michael Jordan. It says, "Be like Mike, drink Gatorade." Oh, okay, I better drink Gatorade, then I'll play like Michael Jordan If I buy these shoes, I'll play like Kobe Bryant. Those sorts of things, really ridiculous as they sound, can be effective ways of persuading people. That's peripheral route processing. So you think we're appealing around the facts. We're taking a different route to persuasion. We're instead of talking about facts and figures, we're going to appeal to outside outside factors in getting you to believe what we believe. Two-sided argument. So we're on number 4 here. Two-sided argument. Think compare and contrast. Okay, and you'll see this a lot if you're paying attention to the debates coming up at some point, hopefully, between President Trump and Joe Biden. Oftentimes when they're trying to convince you that they're right, they will say, well, this is what my opponent believes. My opponent says ... Here's why my ideas are better. Okay, that would be a compare and contrast, two-sided argument. Okay, there's a famous SNL skit from 2000 featuring Al Gore and George W. Bush. Will Ferrell is George W. Bush, where Al Gore talks about his, the comedian playing Al Gore talks about his healthcare plan. He says, under my plan, this woman's healthcare costs would be covered. Under my opponent's plan, her house would be burned to the ground. And be compare and contrast, two-sided argument. Here you think of an OxyClean commercial. An OxyClean commercial first shows you if you use store brand detergent, and here's Connor's t-shirt and it's covered in Cheeto stains and blood, and you put it in Tide or Cheer or whatever, and it comes out looking worse. But when you put it in OxyClean, look, it's brand new. Compare and contrast. That's a two-sided argument. Emotional appeal, kind of going directly to the amygdala. Appealing directly to your emotions. Things like, triggering joy. Remember we talked about your basic emotions: joy, fear, sadness. Okay, and convincing you using emotional manipulation would be the idea of emotional appeal. So I'll give you a couple examples of that. If you've ever seen commercials for ASPCA, an animal rights and protection group, they always feature Sarah McLachlan's beautiful voice singing "In the Arms of the Angel," "Fly Away from Here," and pictures of the saddest puppies and kittens in the universe. And you watch it and you say, oh God, just take my money. Just take all of it. I want to save the kittens. I want to save the puppies. That's an effective emotional appeal. Okay, so that the idea of emotional appeal, is to get you to change your mind. All these are different ways of selling you products or getting you to change your mind. Maybe that thing. So I'll give you an example. Like, one thing, if you look at my family personal history and however I felt about President Obama, I will say this: my sister was a big fan, and my sister will often, if she's arguing with someone about whether President Obama was good or not, will often directly appeal to their emotions by talking about her own experience and finally being able to afford health insurance under his plan, and being able to get surgery that helps save her life. And that's appealing. Like, you should agree with me because if if it wasn't for President Obama, me, Sarah Bowden, wouldn't be here right now. Okay, that sort of thing is an emotional appeal, trying to convince you to change your mind based on a direct appeal to your emotions. The final two, easy to mix up. So let's make sure we're on the same page. Number 6, foot in the door technique. A foot in the door technique would be smaller, and we went over this with Milgram. Remember the idea that once they started shocking people, they couldn't stop. It was easier for them once they hit that 15 button, that 30 button, that 50 button on the electrical volts. It was hard for them to stop, and they were able to keep going all the way to 150, possibly even beyond that. So the foot in the door technique: small request followed by big request. A small request followed by big request. The idea being, if you say yes first couple times, you're more likely to continue saying yes in the future. Okay, you're more likely to continue doing what I want you to do. That's the foot in the door technique. It's an old salesman technique. There used to be door-to-door salespeople once you got in the door, once you got your foot inside the customer's door, once they let you in, they're more likely to let you buy something, or they're more likely to buy something from you. That's the foot in the door technique. So, to give you an example, Ariel wants to go, well, hopefully we'll be able to go to the movies at some point. Ariel wants to go to the movies. Mom, can I have $10 to go to the movies? Mom says, okay, that sounds fun. Hope you have a good time. Yeah, but when we go to the movies, I want to get some snacks. Can I have, $15 to $20? Mom says, okay, you already gave you 10. Here's 10 more. Yeah, and then after the movie, we're going to want to go out to get a snack afterwards. Okay, sure. Oh, and I need some gas money. And the next thing you know, Ariel has $50 from the $10 that she originally got. That would be foot in the door technique. And I'm gonna start with a small request, go to bigger and bigger requests. Door in the face technique is the opposite. Door in the face technique start with big requests followed by small requests. Big requests followed by small requests. A good example of this would be, if you look at any infomercials, how they start at ridiculously high prices. How much would you pay for this blender? $300? $600? Well, you can get it all right now for $19.99. You're like, wow, what a great deal I'm getting. That'd be the door in the face technique. My brother would, if you look at my youngest brother and sister, they're twins. They kind of knew how to play it. Sarah would be more of the foot in the door technique when she would try to get things, from my mom and dad, often starting with, can I have $5? Can I, and $10 and things like that. That would never work with Steve. Steve being the youngest boy and Sarah was the only girl. If he tried the foot in the door technique, my dad in particular would catch on to him. No, you're not getting anything. So he'd often try the door in the face technique, where he'd start out with a ridiculous request. Dad, me and my friends are going out. Can I have, $70? Man, no, I'm not giving you $70. That's ridiculous. Okay, and Steve would follow up. Okay, all right, that was ridiculous. How about I just need 20. You go to movies, get some food. And my dad would say, okay, fine, just now get out of here. Okay, don't bother me. Steve got what he wanted because the small request seems reasonable by comparison. So you start with a big request, and the big request, the door in the face, slam it or no, it's terrible. I would never pay for that. I'd never agree to that. Okay, well, maybe you agree to a smaller request then. That would be the door in the face technique. Okay, so those are methods of persuasion, and hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. A little longer video today. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow with more of the dark side of psychology, social psychology, prejudice, and discrimination.